Jesus, la me wade, me de manali da baby so. Hello world, welcome to Africa Let's Talk. My name is Collins. You can call me Mr. Beyond. Tonight we are having a conversation that is deeply important in our community. Of course, a healthy community is one where individuals have access to resources and support systems that help them lead healthy lives. When people in a community are healthy, guess what? They become more productive and engaged in their daily lives, which can have a positive impact on the family and society. Tonight, we are having a conversation about the upcoming SLNA Health and Wellness Fair that is taking place on Friday, May 5th. We are also joined today by the leaders of the Sierra Leone Nurses Association of Minnesota, who are going to talk to us more about the upcoming Health and Wellness Fair. My name is Collins Kofi Opon. You can call me Mr. Beyond. Please, if you join the conversation, you are more than welcome to invite your friends and actually share the video so that we can get more people to watch, to learn about what is coming up, especially with regards to the Health and Wellness Fair. My guest or my panelists for this conversation are Akuma Kenu. She's the president of the association. We also have Sheku Sharif, the vice president, and Nancy Bangura. She is the director of PR and recruitment, as well as Mary Berry, financial secretary. We're also joined by Husanatu Kamara. She is the general secretary. So I'm going to actually welcome my guest right now into the broadcast, even as we're about to delve in. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. So we're going to just delve into the conversation right away. Like I said, we are having this conversation as part of the programming towards the upcoming Health and Wellness Fair that is coming up with the SLNA. In the first place, would like to actually learn about the Sierra Leone Nurses Association of Minnesota. Please, can you tell us more about this? And I would like to address this to you, Madam President.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Beyond, for having us. We're very, very appreciative. Our community is appreciative of this, and we thank you very much. Sierra Leone Nurses Association, it's a nursing association that was formed here in Minnesota in 2017. It's a 501c nonprofit organization. It was formed by Sierra Leone nurses, Sierra Leoneans who are nurses here in Minnesota. And our goal is to promote health and wellness within our community. And the background behind forming this organization, it's to empower our community so they can be healthy. They can to create awareness about health issues and health resources here in Minnesota. There's a saying that I always say that in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. We are from Africa. We don't have enough health resources, and we're here in America and in Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the healthy states, but even if you're in Minnesota, if you don't know where to access those resources, you won't be able to get them. So we're that bridge, for our community to be able to access those resources and bring them and educate our community as well.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so very much for indeed taking your time to tell us more about the association, the Sierra Leone Nurses Association. Thank you so very much for actually doing that. The next thing that I would like to find out at this moment will be, how does the organization strive to achieve its mission and promote its values. I would like to, Mr. Sheku, if you can actually take this for me. How is the organization able to achieve its mission and promote its values?
Well, the mission that we have, our mission is to promote healthcare, reduce disparity among our community, and to also, since we came from Sierra Leone in West Africa, to see how best we can promote healthcare back in the country. So most of the time, we engage in activities that will allow our target population, which is minorities in the Twin Cities mostly, and then most focusing on elders and youths in our community, and engage them around health topics, because health is sometimes taboo in our community. So we engage them. We always make sure that when there are activities, we tag along and we have people talk about health. We do a lot of activities, as we'll come and explain later, but we do the following to ensure that we get people involved.
Wow, thank you so very much for actually explaining to us how the organization is able to work towards achieving its missions and promoting its values. Once again, this is African Let's Talk. My name is Collins Kofi Oppong. Tonight, we're having a conversation with the Sierra Leone Nurses Association of Minnesota. And it's very important because there is an upcoming health and wellness fair. That is so important for our community indeed. So we want to talk about it and invite the community to be part of this amazing program. So in essence, because the name is Sierra Leone Nurses Association, we want to know, is it just the only community that you serve? And if it's the community that you serve, what specific people in the community that you serve? Do you serve people also outside the Sierra Leone communities? So please, if you can talk about what communities that you serve.
I think I can.
Please.
I can talk to that. So as Sierra Leoneans and as Africans, we not only serve our Sierra Leonean people, we serve the immigrant community. And they said, as you know, there's a saying that says, if there's anything, you have to start with yourself. So we start with the Sierra Leonean communities in Minnesota, but then we extend that to the African community. So when we do our health and wellness fair, not only for the Sierra Leonean community, it's for our West African communities and our Minnesota community. So as you know, time goes, we can expand that to, other communities. But in the meantime, we focus on West African community and immigrant communities in Minnesota. We serve the Twin Cities and, the suburbs and, anyways, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's great, and I'm happy that you're able to really reach out to the whole, because I believe that if a community is healthy, then it actually affects everybody. So it's a good thing really to establish the services to everyone involved. I know we're having a lot of technical issues with Nancy and Hosanatu, but I believe we'll be getting their views also as we delve into the conversation. The next thing that I would like to talk about has to do with the programs and services. So we want to know, of course, there has been some background information about how you do that, but I want to know specifically, how does the organization tailor its programs and services to meet the needs of the communities that it serves? So are we able to talk about how we are able to do that? I know Mr. Sheku, I'm not sure whether to call it Alhaji Sheku or
no, just Sheku.
Okay.
Just Sheku.
Alhaji Sheku is fine.
Okay, Alhaji Sheku. So please, are there any other ways that we want to talk about as to how we are able to tailor the programs and services to meet the needs of the community?
Well, the first thing we did was to really look at what type of programs or what are the needs that we really have to address. So if you look at our community, we've had a lot of, like back home, we've had a lot of crises, like we had the Ebola and others. So we have a crisis response team. Then we have a lot of elderly people that come from Africa. Most of them come to live with their children here, provide comfort, seek healthcare, and also assist in a lot of ways to look after growing children. Those people have needs which are not addressed, and they have the social needs. So we have a senior exchange, a senior outreach program which addresses that. Then we have youths also who deal with a lot of issues like gun violence, mental health, all these. So we have a youth program that focuses on that. Then also, when you look at Africa, we have a lot of challenges in the development and provision of healthcare. So we have a program that is essentially to support healthcare institutions back home. We actually will talk about even sponsoring a clinic that we've done. We've sponsored 2 clinics. Then we also get supplies here, supplies of medical equipment. We've sent 1 or 2 times. So we have those programs. We have then we do with the health and wellness fair is another program that we have, which is an annual program. We get people together and we'll explain to you more about the health and wellness.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I'm more excited about the fact that it doesn't just end with a community here in Minnesota. It goes beyond that and back in Africa and supporting the healthcare needs of the population in Africa. Nancy, is there anything you would like to add so far with regards to the conversation? It's good to have you.
Thank you. I just like to buttress what Alhaji Sheku just said. It's quite a very needful program in our community because, like he mentioned, our seniors, a lot of them coming from where we come from, their health literacy is not always there. So our nurses have been able to empower them when they go to their providers to be able to tell them and teach them what to ask, questions to ask regarding their medications, and just things that they can do to improve on their health and their wellness. So it's quite, in my opinion, not because I'm part of it, I think it's a very valuable program for our community.
Absolutely. It's a very valuable program for our community. Emilia O. Smith says, watching my brothers and sisters. Indeed. Thank you so very much, Emilia, for watching. And of course, Jaren says, oh, okay. He's giving the clapping and of course a thumbs emoji from Akofi Ejekum. Of course, guys, if you join the conversation, you are more than welcome to actually give us feedback, questions, or anything at all that would help with the conversation. We would certainly appreciate it. At this point, I would like to delve into a bit of background about the annual health and wellness fair, which for me is very important because we dedicate our time to all kinds of things, but sometimes we don't do much for health. Meanwhile, it's one of the most important things we can do for ourselves. So we'd like to learn some background with regards to this. Madam President, if you can come in here, please.
Yes, thank you. The background behind the annual health and wellness started in 2017. As I mentioned earlier on, we have a lot of resources in Minnesota, but we don't know how to access it. So it's a way to get our community to be familiarized with some of those resources, like insurance companies, other healthcare organizations, even your local stores and businesses that are around. They come in and provide information. And we partner with the Sierra Leone community, who we're very thankful to have, to be able to serve, and also the African immigrant community and other community health based organizations. We partner with them to make this happen. Usually the health fair happens a day before our independence celebration in Minnesota. As you know, that Sierra Leone's independence is on April 27th, and this year we celebrated our 62nd independence. Yes, and I just want to congratulate all Sierra Leoneans, for celebrating 62 years of independence. We do that the day before the celebration, and the celebration this year, the big ball and dinner. I'm hoping, Mr. Beyond, that you're going to be there.
Absolutely.
The big ball and dinner is going to take place on May 6th this year at Brooklyn Center. Yes. And so the day before, we kind of like kick off this big, huge excitement with the health fair. And the health fair is a way to motivate people, is a way to bring our community together so they can, they can hang out, they can celebrate. So it's not just a health fair, but it's also a celebration, if you will. At the health fair, you will get to hear a lot of, African music. A lot of things happen, sort of like a get together in the community.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Indeed, there is a need for a health fair, and I'm happy that the Sierra Leoneans Association, no, Nurses Association of Minnesota is taking it up to really do something so important like this, bringing us together to actually experience something with regards to health and resources that are available. Of course, there are a few questions coming in. Osman Kenu says, with regards to expanding to West Africa, what support do you render so far? And we also have a question from Loveless. He says, are we invited to the independence celebration?
Everybody's invited.
Everybody is invited.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the question also about with regards to the expanding to West African, what support do you render so far?
Our education, we have a routine health and wellness education. Usually prior to the pandemic, we have like a face-to-face, but during the pandemic, we moved to Zoom mainly. We do Zoom and we send out Zoom flyers. We do education on prevention, health prevention and health maintenance. We do education on chronic diseases. We provide care packages to our communities, especially our seniors. And during COVID, Sierra Leone Nurses Association was one of the organizations who worked fervently to help, mitigate COVID and help to educate the community about the spread, symptoms, and things like that. We did testing. We hosted, testing events, and then we also hosted vaccination events. So we've partnered with the Nigerian nurses in the past. We've partnered with other African immigrant communities in Minnesota as well.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Once again, this is Africa Let's Talk. We're having a conversation with regards to the upcoming Sierra Leone Health and Nurse Association's Health and Wellness Fair, which is exciting because it's something that the community definitely needs. I know we're having some technical challenges with Madam Husanatu. How are you, Madam? And welcome to the program. Oh, sorry. I think
she's muted.
Yes. Are you able to unmute? Otherwise, we would actually probably not talk about the activities that participants can expect at the Health and Resource Fair. I know Madam President has touched on a few, but I mean, sometimes we come to these events knowing that there are one or two things that we can certainly be involved with. And I would like to come to you, either Marie or Nancy, if you can touch on some of the activities that participants can expect when they come to the fair.
Yes, I would like to take on that. So when you come to the Wellness Fair, as Kumba has already alluded to the fact that it's a get together. So it's a community coming together. It's part of our celebration for the independence. When you come to the Wellness Fair, you expect an array of things. There's definitely food, there's entertainment, there's things set up for the kids. We're having screenings done. So there's HIV screenings done that's going to be done on that day. There is a $25 gift card incentive for that if you get tested on site that day. There will be blood pressure screening as well. We'll have a table set up for senior programs that our seniors will run themselves to tell other people about other seniors about their programs and what they're getting from it. Tons of stuff. There is vendors with African attires and fabrics and things. It's really something to be part of. Someone said once, I was talking to somebody and the person said, I feel like the SLNA Health Fair is like the state fair, but for African people. And I think that was a good way to describe it because really you get an array of things and it's really quite a beautiful evening.
Well, indeed, it's quite a beautiful evening. Of course, Husnetu, please, I know you also want to touch on that. If you can go ahead, please. If you want to touch on that, some of the activities, or maybe expand on some of the things that Mary has already mentioned.
Nancy.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say Mary. Mary, please, you can go ahead. It looks like we're still having challenges with Madam Husanatu.
Yeah.
Yes,
just
Mary, please, if you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, just to add to what Nancy said, yeah, it's very important. And, the education that we provide to our community, some of our communities, some of our elders, they value nurses' advice. Coming to the health fair, we provide education, and we're able to talk to them one-to-one and just direct them to go to other stations. Like Nancy mentioned, the HIV. I mean, for young people, we have a taboo in our community too. And I'm sorry. Nancy, can you help me with that?
Yes. When our community in general, Africans, and I don't think this is just for West Africans, I think it's just Africans in general, because we come from a background with such lack when it comes to healthcare. Some of us, when we find ourselves in this beautiful land that we're in, we tend to shy away from preventative care. We don't want to get tested because we're worried about what we'll find out. And when in reality, the stuff that we'll find out, it's there, whether you choose to go get tested for it, it's not going to go away because you don't get tested for it. So those are the things that we're trying to promote is preventative measure. Get tested, know your status, know what your blood pressure is, get educated on what you need to do to prevent certain things from happening. So those are all the things that will be covered at the health fair. We would also have CPR teaching. I teach for American Heart Association. Right. So that will be something also that will be one of our highlights, teaching people life skills. If you're at home and somebody has a heart attack, how do you help your family until 911 comes? So things like that will be covered. It's an array of things. Wow. But it's all based on our health and things that we all need to learn and do.
Yeah, the basic things.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, it's becoming very important because many a time in our community, there are even reports of deaths and illnesses that's certainly some of these would have been a great intervention if people knew enough education about it. Madam President, and of course, Alhaji, is there anything you would like to add with regards to the activities that people expect people would see when they attend the health fair?
Yeah. Well, okay. Yes, Madam President, you go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to add that in addition to what Nancy and Marie had just, alluded to, people can bring their children as well. Mother's Day is May 9th. So what we do at the health fair, we set up a table for children and they can come in and do arts and crafts and do a Mother's Day card for their moms. So it's another way to engage our children in the community and teach them, how to give back to their parents as well. We would have mental health. Mental health is very big. Mm-hmm. Like Nancy alluded earlier, we don't usually do preventative medicine, and sometimes we don't talk about mental health. But the National Alliance for Mental Illness will be there, and they'll share information, resources, and support groups. We'll have a Global Fatherhood Foundation. So it's an array of programs that will be there that day. And we'll have ACER, the African Career Education and Resource, Inc. in our community, who helps people with housing, helps people with jobs, and helps people with, health education as well. So there are a lot of things. If you're coming to the health fair, make sure you bring some money because there'll be African fabrics. There'll be, candles to sell. One of our vendors is going to sell books about our experience in the African community. We encourage families to attend. It's a family event and everyone is invited.
Wow, indeed, it's a family event and everyone is invited. Madam Husanatu, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can
hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Finally.
Join us.
So sorry.
What do you think of the conversation so far?
I'm sorry?
I said, well, what do you think of the conversation so far?
I'm jealous. I want to be involved in the conversation. Unfortunately, I've had connectivity issues. Nevertheless, my colleagues have addressed most of the things that we want to exhibit and enlighten for the wellness fair. As Kumba already said, we have a lot of activities. We have a lot of gifts and door prizes that will be available to those who will be in attendance. The first 50 people or first person to enter the fair will have, I believe, a $50 correct me, Kumba, if I'm wrong. No, it's one of those what was it that we were gonna give again?
It's an Alexa.
Alexa
there's
Dot. Echo Dot.
Echo Dot.
Alexa Mino, that's one of the Alexas, and then we have the second 2 Alexas to give away as well. So
Wow.
lots of activities and a lot of opportunities for people in the community, even though there might not be nurses, that they can actually volunteer toward. Our senior program is one of those things that we need volunteers for. We have some seniors who don't have vehicles, or their children are at work all day and not able to take them to the senior programs. So we do need volunteers for that as well.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, when I was going through your Facebook pages, one thing that caught my attention was how much time and definitely dedication that you provide your seniors in the community. And it's really admirable. And I'm happy to really to know that you are doing all that. Of course, we want to run through a couple of comments and questions that are coming through. Kennedy Mensah says, is the dinner open to the public?
Absolutely.
He's talking of the Independence Dinner. Yes, but come to the fair first, my brother. Come to
the fair is.
Please, yes. Please come.
Come to the hair fair with the family.
The fair is free. The dinner, I think
it's $50.
$50.
But you can come to the fair. The fair is free.
And you know, the beautiful part about it, one of the giveaways is actually a ticket to the dinner. So the fair is like a precursor to the dinner. Yes, 2 tickets. Wow. So you might just get a free dinner if you go to the fair.
Absolutely.
And the 2 tickets combined for the first 50 people, though. So we do a raffle. The raffle that we do, if you come within the first 50 people, so that raffle, the prizes that we have to give, the giveaway is the prizes for the first 50 people. So if you come on time, it's 4 to 8. If you come on time, you'll be one of the luckiest person to win one of the prizes.
Thank you so much. And of course, going through the comments, I realized that the rest of my questions are being asked by the audience. So I'm just going to ask what they are asking me. It says, what can we do if we needed to support the wellness fair?
Well, one thing you can do to support the wellness fair is to come, bring people that you know can benefit from the fair. If you have a senior at home, bring them, get them to join. It's a good way to get them out of the house, to be able to be with other seniors. It's really good for their mental health. Bring your kids. It's good for us to target these kids at a young age to take the stigma off, not going to the doctor, seeing the doctor as this big to do. So bring the family. That's one way you can support the fair, is to show up with your family. It's a family event.
Right.
Is to show up.
And you can also support.
Yes, please.
Right. You can also support the fair by actually coming and learning about conditions that affect our communities. A lot of African communities and African American communities are impacted by diabetes and hypertension and stroke. So that is a good opportunity for them to come, learn some of those basic symptoms of those conditions, and they will not be so in the dark. If something is happening to their elderly family member or even a family member at home, they can quickly react, call 911, and get quick treatment for those patients, for those family members.
That's amazing. I'm happy now we are very comfortable to talk about these issues, because for many a time, people are dying, people are getting sick, and we're not bold enough to talk about it. But I'm happy that we are really talking about it, and it's going to save a lot of lives. Of course, Emilia has a question about, can you share with us some of the vendors? I think we can actually. I have here. So
there you go.
These are most of the vendors and the sponsors and the partners. So if you are watching, you can see all of them. I'm happy that the community is out, organizations are out to really support. So I'm happy to really see that. These are some of them. The UK, NAMI, Africa Let's Talk, we are definitely on board. ASAR, WellShare, Cap Food, Parents, Child and Teen Checkups, Fresh Financial Services, Sierra Leone community in Minnesota, and of course, MCRA, Global Fatherhood Foundation, and Abraham's Bosom Care. I hope I got all the names. Of course, I see OK as well. Those are some of the vendors and partners that will be on. I think there's also another question. Like I said, yes, the audience have making my job a lot easy. GFF said thanks for the excellent job. We love your partnership. And of course, Ellsworth Baba says thanks for the great work you're doing. Okay, and Ibsa K says, is the health and wellness fair a tabling event? If yes, are vendors' booths still available? Are those booths still available for vendors?
We have
Yes.
we have a couple booths that are available, but I need to get they need to contact me today. I'm gonna give you my number. It's 952-693-6843. After today, it's closed.
After today, it's closed. Yep.
Yes.
I'm happy about the timelines that we are given, and this is not the first African event that I've seen respecting timelines. So
Yes.
That's a compliment.
yes. Because how do we encourage preventative care in our community? A lot of our people are still against it. Can we get answers to that?
Come to the fair.
Well, come to the week. All we can say is that will be a whole topic that we can address in a long one. So come to the topic, come to the fair, and then we'll address that issue.
Yeah, come to the fair, because
fair,
sometimes you have to start with the basics. Because if you start, it's broad. Healthcare is broad. Because once you know the basics, then you try to learn and get help. But if you're just sitting at home or say, okay, stroke is, you don't know about stroke, you don't know about diabetes, you don't know how it's going to affect you. But once you know the basics, you can start from there.
You can start from there.
So we encourage them to come to the fair.
Yeah. And at the fair too, there will be visual boards that nurses have worked on that would address these things. You'll see boards that would address what hypertension does. I think sometimes people know what hypertension is, but you don't know what uncontrolled hypertension does to you. So those are things that you will learn at the fair. And, I always tell my patients that, how back home people used to say what you don't know doesn't affect you, doesn't kill you, or won't hurt you. It is the opposite of healthcare. What you don't know will hurt you, will kill you if you don't take care of it.
Actually, it's true. I realize that most of our proverbs are really not right. What you don't know does not kill you. Like, really? Ignorance
does kill you.
What you don't know might just be what takes you out. So we're really trying to prevent that from happening by empowering people to know what to do, where to look for help, and when to get help early.
Okay. Yes, I think Madam Kuma has something. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to quickly add that, back in Africa, we're not used to preventive medicine. We're mostly, when we get sick is when we go to the hospital. But here in America, there is money for preventive medicine. So if you do your prevention, you won't pay $1 out of pocket. Nothing, not a single cent. So that is free. And like everybody has said, if you come to the fair, there's a whole section that will talk about preventive medicine.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so very much. There's actually a question of what modalities do we have in place to ensure participants' health records will be protected as it pertains to HIPAA?
Can I address that? We do not discuss any attendees' medical record. What we see, what you tell us, stays with us. We do not share it on social media. We do not share it if you don't want us to share it with anybody else. However, if you are there with a family member and you feel that person needs to know about your condition or needs to help you schedule an appointment with your provider, we certainly will share that information with them. But on no account do we expose or violate HIPAA in any of our dealings with our patients or the attendees at the fair.
Okay.
And we are not also like a medical organization that will do anything directly for you. So what we basically do is it's more general, it's more educational. And then whatever information you have, what we just do is guide you to resources that are available, that are medical resources, that are licensed resources that address your issue. So it's like more or less, we're not really coming to get specific information from people. We'll hear the generalities and guide you toward the specific a resource that you need in a society.
Right.
And a lot of
We
times
always-
people don't know that there are resources that are available for challenges they may have, healthcare challenges. So that is all what we do. We facilitate connection of people who need to resources that are available.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just as Sheku alluded to, we also make sure that I'm sorry, Kumba. We also make sure that we ask when we give you our a review of your meds or any condition that you explain to us, we always say, please make sure you follow up with your provider.
Yes.
We cannot give, we have to use that disclaimer because it is so critical in healthcare that we are not physicians, although some people are closer to be physicians than others. But we are not physicians. So we always tell them, please consult with your provider. And if you need us to come with you to an appointment, that we have always also offered that service to our seniors, we provide that as well.
Okay. Madam Kumba, you wanted to ask something?
Yes, I just wanted to say that the screenings that will be done at the health fair will be by Cup Foods. Cup Foods, we do glucose screening and blood pressure screenings. And as you know, it's a Cup pharmacy. They already have the HIPAA guidelines. And then the West African HIV Task Force will be doing HIV testing, which they'll do give a $25 gift card for. They also have a HIPAA guidelines. They work with the Hennepin County and the Ryan White Foundation, and they're very big on HIPAA. So we're all nurses. We know how it is. So, protection of health information is of our utmost importance.
Okay. All right. I know, Madam Mary, you may have to take leave of us. If so, can you give your concluding remarks before you go?
Oh, okay. So I was just going to talk about we're an organization and we need help to help our community. So we accept donations. Donation is big for us to thrive. We accept donations. So if anybody is interested in donating to our cause, we want to help our people. We want to help our community. Helping our community, help ourselves too. So if you want to donate, we're using PayPal for financial donation and PayPal, and then we use, and you can send us an email too, or you can email a check. So if you're gonna email a check, Kumba will take care of that. And Kumba, would you wanna tell the address where to mail the check?
Yes. If anybody is interested in donating, like Marie, said, we need money, we need financial resources to be able to do what we do. Sometimes smaller organizations like us are not being seen because we don't have the platform, but we're doing all the work. We can't do the work if we don't have the financial help. You can go to PayPal, Sierra Leone Nurses Association, Minnesota, if you want to donate. And then you can also mail a check and contact me, myself. My email is kuskanu@gmail.com, and that's KUSKANU@gmail.com. Or you can call on 952-693-6843. And I will, talk to you on the address where to mail the check. If you go to our website, you can get more information on that as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. You are very welcome. And of course, thank you so very much. I know there are a lot of comments and questions. Let me try to go through some of them very quickly. Iyatunde Tope says, thanks, guys. This is very enlightening. Thank you so very much. And of course, there's a question about, is food free or for sale? Is food free or for sale?
Food will be free.
Food is free.
Food is free. Okay, that's great. That's
Food
my
is
favorite
free.
part. Also, the nurses are professionals guided by ethics rules and regulatory compliance to ensure your privacy is highly protected. Okay, thank you for actually battling on that as well. And of course, Kennedy says, I am coming. Thank you so very much. He says, I'm bringing my family to the fair.
Thank you.
All right.
It's open, it's family-friendly fair. And as Nati says, interesting. And of course, Osman can say the icebreaker to preventative care is talking about the issue and more education indeed. And that is what we're doing. It says, if one can't come, which you should, Edith Bella, you should come. Is there an advance to control financially? Is there an advance to I'm not sure exactly what that
Maybe
means.
to contribute financially.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
You're
definitely.
more than welcome. Jarin
Please do.
Agbaja says, love that you are highlighting medical crisis and issues such as diabetes and high blood pressure in our African
Yeah,
community.
those are
And of
serious
course,
challenges.
yeah, and I'm really happy
Yeah.
that we're doing that. Loveless says, at some point, I would like to partner with you all when I get more information about the coalition. Maybe I would find a relative. And of course, Mara says, thank you, SLNA, for all you do for our communities. And of course, Edith says, is there an avenue? Oh, okay, to contribute financially. Definitely,
Yes.
there is.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
There
Yeah,
is.
there is
And,
an avenue. We'll have some information at the fair as well, how people can, donate. But you can go to PayPal. We do take PayPal. I know not many people, but we do have PayPal. Sierra Leone Nurses Minnesota, Sierra Leone Nurses Association in Minnesota, which is SLNA MN, and you'll be able to donate, or you can go to my email. It's K as in kite, U as in Utah, S as in Sam, ANU@gmail.com, and then we can send you the address of where you can send your donation.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to leave all this information in the end of this broadcast, so anybody would be able to look at them indeed. But of course, before we come to the end of this conversation, what I would like to also know, what general impact do we hope that the Health Resource Fair would actually have on the communities that we serve? At the end of the day, we want to be impactful with these things. What general impact do we hope that it will have on our community?
Yes,
I think one of the
go ahead, Usanatu. Go ahead.
One of the things that we really in our community and part of the African community and African community as a whole is that our SLNA community and SLNA Nurses Association will be a driving force to preventative care in Minnesota and across African communities. We want to make sure that the education that we give to our families, our seniors, is carried over to our children's children and our next generation. That we are hoping that the next generation of African migrants who come to Minnesota or come to the USA have a healthy future, so that some of these conditions that we are seeing that are killing our brothers and sisters, as diabetes and COPD and hypertension, is controlled. If we know it's something that we cannot eradicate, but we can hopefully make a way for it to be diseases that are more controlled and cared for. Even though we are in America, but we still have people in Africa that we could go do some mission tours to Africa and teach nurses and educate nurses in some of the signs and what are the conditions. There's so many people who need medical care in Africa. So we are hoping that SLNA will be a stepping stool for advancements of educating nurses in Sierra Leone and beyond Africa, not only Sierra Leone, but in West Africa as well.
Absolutely.
And I think also that, in the African community, we when we gather around together, and especially we hardly talk about health. You talk about things that are going on. You talk about politics. You talk about gossip or who is doing what. We don't talk about health. So you find out that even during the coronavirus, there was a lot of misinformation. There was a lot of disinformation. There were a lot of people who were saying this is a disease that is created to put fear, to depopulate certain areas. So it is only when we come together like this and you have professionals that we can actually let people know what the true information is, and let people at least have a contrary information to the myths that they have, and enlighten them and get them to really understand, or even if they don't want to accept what we are saying, at least have something to some opposing view. So that's the reason why. And Also, for 2 years or 3 years, we've been locked down in Minnesota, and this whole year was very cold. So this is an opportunity. Next week is going to be a little warmer, I heard. So this is an opportunity for us to come together and socialize also, you know. So it's not only about healthcare. Come, socialize, get gifts, meet friends. There's going to be music there too for those who like music. It's just whenever you meet people, you relax, you know, you put down your blood pressure, you have some fun. So that's what we are intending to do.
And I'm just gonna add that one of our vendors that are going to be at the health fair that I'm personally very excited about is NAMI. One thing that we don't talk about, we don't address in our community, yet we suffer from it very so greatly, is mental health. I personally believe that there's no health without mental health. If you're whole and your mental health is not where it's supposed to be, you're not well. So I think it's a beautiful time to talk. Like Sheku said, it's gonna be in a soft, friendly atmosphere to talk and address about these things that sometimes we stigmatize that we don't want to talk about, yet we suffer from them.
Wow, that's amazing. You know what? We're going to actually listen and watch a short video about the health and wellness fair coming up. And when we come back, we're going to do the concluding remarks for this conversation. I know it's getting exciting and nobody wants to leave, but we're going to take this quick break. And when we come back, I will definitely going to have our conclusion. Of course, if you're also watching and you have any more questions, you're more than welcome to leave them in the comments box. And we will be right back. Right, welcome back to Africa Let's Talk. My name is Collins Kofi Opon. Of course, we have been having a conversation towards the upcoming Sierra Leone Nurses Association's Health and Welfare Fair or Resource Fair that is coming up, and we are excited about all the possibilities that are coming. Of course, Safia Jallo says, good job. Thank you very much. And of course, Ibrahima Barry says, very educative. And Edith Bella says, hi, Husanatu, proud of you. MSU in the house, 100%. And of course, Loveless says information and knowledge is power. Abubakar Bundu says great discussion. And of course, Elsworth Baba Latang says wonderful to have professionals from our community. Mabel Elia Favor says great job. And Ezu Ahau says, we are so proud of you guys and thank you for all what you're doing for our lovely community. Keep it up. Thanks again. And Iyatunde Tope says, thanks guys, great job. And of course, we come to the ending of this conversation, but I would like to take the concluding remarks. I would like to begin with you. Mary, I thought you were gone.
I know, it's interesting.
You can't leave,
You
right?
can't leave.
I'll give you one more chance to talk about your remarks before you finally go. I don't want your employers to see that you.
Okay.
But then again, no. Then again,
so,
this is part of your work. This is
right,
delivering health education.
So I work with Usana too, so she's there, so she will let them know I'm running late.
Yes,
and for a good reason.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good reason. All right, so please go ahead and share your final remarks.
Okay. Just want to say thank you to the audience and thank you to our community for always supporting us and continue to support us. We need your help. For nurses, I know we have a lot of nurses and Australian nurses in Minnesota. But for currently, we only have 31 members. So we encourage everyone, if you know of Sierra Leone nurse, please encourage them to join our cause. We just want to continue to help our community. It's very good. Like they said, knowledge is powerful. And when we know something, we want to expand it. We want the community to know, to learn from it too. And we learn from each other, even though we're nurses, sometimes, listening to the community, listening to our elders, getting information from them, we tend to learn from that and try to expand that. So we encourage nurses to please join our cause and please come to the health fair on the 5th. Please come support us. Thank you.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. I would like to come to you, Nancy, please. Your concluding.
Yes. Super exciting week coming up for us. It's also going to be the start of Nurses Week. So I'd like to take this time to say happy Nurses Week to all SLE nurses and nurses all around and all our nurse support staff. Behind every great nurse is a great nurse support staff. So I honor those people as well. Like Marie said, come to the fair. Let's work together and let's all come together and work together for our health. Excited to see everybody. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. And of course, I'd like to come to you, Madam Husanet, please.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and for being the troublemaker and having technical issues with my video, but I've enjoyed the time here. I want to also take the opportunity to say happy independence celebration to every Sierra Leonean. Please come and support the independence celebration, be part of the healthcare of the wellness fair. We love to see everyone and we appreciate all of your support here on this forum as well as out of this forum. We are inviting all seniors in Brooklyn Park, in anywhere in Crystal as well, in the community to please come. If you would like to participate in our senior program, just reach out to one of us and we will try to figure out a way to have you attend our senior activities. Thank you and appreciate the time tonight.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. And of course, Alhaji Sheku, please, your concluding remarks.
Well, my favorite program, of course, is our senior program. So we're going to have a senior table there. And the seniors themselves will be able to talk to other seniors and other people around to see what the value they're getting from that program. And we also encourage new nurses to come, especially nursing is kind of an intimidating profession for new people. You come and try to meet some people who've been in the profession for long and let them dialogue with them and see challenges that you're going through, how they can guide. So we have that. And then come and listen to the programs that we are doing in Africa, because we didn't talk much about it, but we're doing a lot of things in Africa. We're helping give clinics, we're helping give supplies to clinics, and we've done a lot of things that we really want people to know about. So please come.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so very much. And of course, there's a question about, can we join the course if we aren't nurses? So somebody wants to know, can they join if they are not nurses, maybe in voluntary capacity?
Yes, we have volunteer
opportunities. We
opportunities.
always ask for volunteers. We have a lot of programs that we do that we needed volunteers for. We have a lot of things you can do. We have a lot of people who join us, like Emilia is with us all the time, Isata, Bakar, and others. They are not nurses, but they are of immense help, because we always, you always have ancillary services that you want to do, and you have people you need. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Actually, there is a lot of thing I wanted to share here, even whilst we're talking about this, because this program, which is also about Africa Partners Medica for medical doctors and nurses. So I will definitely, it's one of the areas that I believe this community can contribute. So I will ask them to provide full support to the SLNA Annual Health and Wellness Fair. And in the same way, if we can also collaborate and support the cause as well. I think this would be a great partnership. And I'm happy to see these programs like this, as well as the Africa Partners Medical for happening in our community, showcasing how much we take health contributions and how important it is in our community. Madam President, before I let you go, and of course the rest of the panelists, we would also like to get your concluding remarks.
Yes, very quickly to add to Sheku, currently in Sierra Leone, we're building a clinic.
Wow.
In rural Sierra Leone. Yes,
That's
we're
amazing.
building a clinic, and hopefully when that clinic is complete, SLNA nurses here in Minnesota will be able to take mission trips to Sierra Leone and help. It's a primary care clinic, and it's going to support a lot of villages in that area. So please contact us if you're at the fair and know how to donate. Go to our website and know how to donate, and also contact us on Facebook. There is a Sierra Leone Nurses Minnesota. There is a Facebook for us. You can send a message for us, and then we'll get back to you. Very quickly, there are 2 vendors that are coming to the fair. One of them is Child and Teen Checkup, and the other one is Parent Child Plus. Child and Teen Checkup is a service that provided to the community for people to be able to take their children and their teens for checkup. And then the Parent Child Plus, which if I had a younger child, I would get into this program just like that. It helps children from 16 months to 48 months. It's like a head start. They go into the family's home, and then they do education, for the child. They help with the work with the family, and they help with the child. I think they go like twice a week. So that's a very valuable information that parents can get for their children. And there's a saying that if kids go through child trauma, when they grow up, they would end up getting chronic diseases. That's what the evidence is showing. Wow. If you don't get your checkups at an early age, if you don't expose your kids to healthcare at an early age, when they grow up, there's a tendency for them to have those chronic conditions. I just want to thank you, Mr. Beyond, for having us. And we're very excited for this health fair. Not because it's our annual health fair, but it's the first of the health fair since the pandemic. Everybody, had a setback from the pandemic, and this is our first time coming out. So we encourage the community to come out, African community, our neighbors, our friends, families, please come out and celebrate with us. We didn't die from COVID, so we're going to celebrate with health. We're going to celebrate till the end. Please come to our Independence Ball. It's on May 6th. There will be ticket sale at the fair as well. If you haven't been to a Sierra Leone and Independence, then you're missing out. Please come. It's a night that is full of entertainment. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You are very welcome. And Osman says, fantastic job, SLNA. We are so proud of you. Bravo. And of course, Emilia says, clap, clap, clap. And of course, GFF says, congratulations, team. A very good conversation. Your work is an asset in the community. Will support all the way. Be blessed. And of course, Nyaha Jome says, thanks, Kumba, for the invite. All right. Thank you so very much, everyone, for joining the conversation. And of course, thank you especially to our panelists for coming on to talk about health, to talk about wellness in our community, and most importantly, to throw more light on the upcoming health and wellness fair. Truly, truly appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. You are very welcome. Of course, you've heard it all for ourselves. The 5th of May, which is a Friday, all the information will be added on the Facebook pages, and of course the flyers, the videos, and everything for everyone really to attend this health fair. It's very important for you to do this with your family, which is great, because then you are seeking something for you as a mother, as a father, or as a grandparent, and of course your children and grandchildren, everything for the family. It's so important that we take this serious. And we want to thank the Sierra Leone Nurses Association of Minnesota for embarking on such an important assignment as far as health and wellness is concerned. My name is Collins Kofi Opon. Thanks to everybody for joining the conversation, and of course to the production team here at Africa Let's Talk. I say a very big thank you to you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Jesús ya